Hi class, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And for today, I'll be your teacher in general mathematics. And the topic that we are going to discuss is all about functions. Second lesson will be evaluating functions. How can we evaluate a function? So, evaluation of function can be done by substituting or replacing a given value or expression to x as an input, then calculate or simplify the f of x or y as your output. So meaning we are going to substitute your input to the f of x for you to have an output. So the function has two components, so we have x and y, or your y can be denoted as f of x. So your x is the independent variable, so meaning that is your input, and your y or the f of x is your dependent variable because it depends only to the input, which is the x.
So now, let us have an example in evaluating of functions. So this is the example 1. Consider the function h of x equals to 6x plus 1. Evaluate the function when x is equals to 0 and x is equals to negative 5. So the first x will be x equals to 0, then second x is equals to negative 5. So let's solve for x equals to 0. So our h of x is equals to 6x plus 1. So your h of 0 is equals to 6 times 0. Just substitute your 0 to your x plus 1. So your h of 0 will be equals to 6 times 0. This is 0 plus 1. So final answer will be 1. At x equals to negative 5, your h of x still 6x plus 1. So substitute x negative 5 to your x. H of negative 5 is equals to 6 times negative 5 plus 1. H of negative 5 is equals to 6 times negative 5. This is negative 30 plus 1. So your h of negative 5 will be negative 30 plus 1. It's equals to negative 29. So this is your h of negative 5. So for the second example, let us evaluate the function below if x is equals to 15 and x is equals to 3. So the function is g of x equals to square root of x plus 1. So first, let's evaluate if your x is equals to 15. X equals to 15. So g of x equals to square root of x plus 1. So your g of 15 will be square root of 15 plus 1. So g of 15 equals to square root of 15 plus 1. This is 16. Your g of 15 is equals to square root of 16, or this is 4. For x equals to 3, so we have g of x equals to still x plus square root of x plus 1. So substituting your x, your 3 to x, so we have g of 3, we have square root of 3 plus 1. So g of 3 is equivalent to square root of 3 plus 1, we have 4. So we have square root of 4. So your g of 3 is equals to 2. So this is your g of 15 and g of 3. For the third example, let us consider the function p of x equals to x squared plus 2x minus 5. Evaluate this function when x is equals to 1.5. So, The function is p of x equals to x squared plus 2x minus 5. So we're going to substitute your x, which is equals to 1.5, to our x here in this function. So we have p 1.5, which is equals to 1.5 squared plus 2 times 1.5 minus 5. So 1.5 raised to 2, or 1.5 squared, is equals to 2.25 plus 2 times 1.5, this is equals to 3 minus 5. So you have 2.25 plus 3, which is 5.25. So we have 5.25 minus 5. So our P of 1.5 is equals to 0.25. Let us have example 4. The function f of x is equals to 5x plus 40 models the yearly membership cost for a book rental club, where x is the number of books rented. Last year, Sol rented 19 books, while Jen rented thrice the number of books of Sol. How much more did Jen pay last year than Sol? So, the given for this problem is our x, which is the number of books, and our f of x, which is 5x plus 40. It says here in the problems that last year, Sol rented 19 books. So, per Sol, we have your x equals to 19 books. How about Jen? So last year, Jen rented thrice the number of books of Sol. So we have for Jen, that is, so let's have y for Jen, x sub 2 rather. So x sub 1 for Sol, then x sub 2 for Jen. So we have 3 times of x sub 1 because it's thrice the number of books of Sol. So the number of books that Jen rented is 3 times x sub 1 is 19 books, so we have 19. So we have 19 times 3, or 3 times 19 is equals to 57 books. So Jen rented 57 books and Sol rented 19 books. The problem will be, how much more did Jen pay last year than Sol? So we are going to substitute how many books they are rented before to our function. So for Sol, so we have f of x is equals to 5x plus 40. How many books that Sol rented last year? So that is 19. So we substitute 19. So we have 5 times 19 plus 40. So we have 5 times 19, which is 95, plus 40. This is equals to 135 pesos. So this is the membership cost for Sol. How about Jen? So still we have f of x equals to 5x plus 40 because this is the model for the yearly membership cost. So, how many books did Jen rented? So, we have 57. So, 5 times 57 plus 40 is equals to 5 times 57 is 285. Plus 40, we have 325. This is the cost paid by Jen because of the book rental last year. So, the question here, how much more did Jen pay last year? So, let us just get the difference of these two. So, we have 325 minus 135. So, this is equals to 190 pesos. So, the answer to our problem is 190 pesos.